Okay, we're going to add a new book, and I've got some materials prepared, so this will should go pretty smoothly. And this will be the sort of thing you're going to typically want to have set up as you set up your own new book. So once you've logged in, you're on the My Books dashboard. You're going to see this big button up here that says Add New Book. We're going to click that, and now we're in the Create New Book project page. This is where you get to have a lot of fine control over some of the metadata of your book, the details behind the scenes sort of thing. So we're going to add a new book now. Now the first thing you encounter is front cover art, and the cover art, as this hover over message reveals, is required for marketing both ebook and print books. So you're going to need the little rectangular cover that you see on digital storefronts like Amazon and Apple Books and Kobo. The small little thumbnail gets generated from the front cover art. So you're going to need that even if you have a full wraparound cover for your print book. If you don't have a cover yet, you can publish as a pre-order. This is required for print. If you have cover art, here are the sizes and the file types we recommend. 1600 by 2400 or larger, and you should use a JPEG or PNG file. If you designed your cover yourself or you used a tool like Canva or something, you can adjust the sizes. You can pick the sizes in those programs that you're using. Photoshop will let you choose the size. If you have a designer, you just got to make sure you ask them for a thumbnail or a front cover version of the cover in these dimensions or greater. So, okay, now we're ready to create our new book, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upload some cover art. I happen to have cover art, so I'm going to click this radial, and then we get this little box where we can click Browse, and we can navigate to where this book, this cover is located. And as that uploads, boom, there's our thumbnail. So this is what we will see on various storefronts. You can download the full-size version. This gets resized by the retailers, but in general, this is going to be about the size of the thumbnail. So we generate that for you from the front cover art. Now we want to enter all of the actual information about this book, and we've got little helpful guides here to help you. Your book's title. Please do not include the series title or other parenthetical information. That's good advice. So for this book, we're calling it I Just Wanted to Write. And this is part of a series, and I've already created the series for this, but we're going to call this one Get Off My Lawn series. And in this case, we can change the publisher. I'm going to change to Grumpy Guy Publishing. So that's where you can change the name of your publisher. You can add a new publisher if you want. And down here, prioritized author name. So I'm not the author of this one. The author of this one is actually my good friend M.O. Mann. And we're going to select his name there. But at least one author is required. You can put your authors in the order you prefer them to be listed. So if you have an author and a co-author, you can list the names however you want. Maybe someone ghost wrote the book with you. However you want to do that, you can arrange it any way you like. The publisher is the label or brand name associated with your book. And if you don't have one, you can just use your author name. You are required to have a publisher name there of some kind. It's usually going to be you. Or if you have a publishing imprint, you can use the name of your publishing imprint. And for series, select the series, if any, associated with this book. If the desired series is not in the list, choose Add Series to create a new one. If the book isn't part of a series, leave the selection blank. So that is the way you would handle that. So you could, if you decided this wasn't part of a series after all, you could select these lines, and that would take the series name off. But we're going to go ahead and put that on there. If you notice, by the way, when you click the name of the series, the volume number box lights up over here. This is the book's order number in the selected series. So we're going to say that this is book number 1 in the series. And from here, we're going to add some additional information. I'm going to start with the BISAC filters. Now, if you hover over this guy, you get a really great description. It's BISAC subjects are the categories that shoppers will browse in to find your book. Think of them like the different sections of a bookstore. Choose the categories that best describe your book with the most important listed first. You can choose up to 5, but many of our vendors will only support the first 1 or 2. You can type within the search box to narrow down the list, clear the box, and hit enter to restore the full list. So in this case, I'm going to say that this book is tied to publishing and see what we get. So there's a couple of things that pop up, and we can go expand this list, the language, arts, and disciplines list, and we can scroll down to see if we can find anything that works for us. So publishing is definitely one I want to add. There are also some other categories in here, like authorship. Maybe, let's see. We don't want to get too in the weeds with this. I think that's probably going to do for now. Okay, let's do reference as well. So now we've got 3 prioritized BISACs. We can say, okay, authorship actually is more important to me than publishing in this case. So we can grab that and move that up. You can reorganize these any way you like. So now I'm going to go back up here to search terms. If you hover over that state, adding keywords can help readers find your title. Be sure to list your keywords by priority, since not all vendors are able to take an unlimited number of keywords. For example, Amazon accepts the first 5 keywords. So we may come here and say we want to add, ideally you want to do some research and find out what keywords work best for your book. But in this case, we're just going to throw some things in here. So writing is probably the first. No need for a slash. As you hit enter, that pops in there. Publishing. These may be redundant since they're the categories, but they're the first things that are popping to mind. Grumpy old men, we'll say, for some reason. Oop, not mean, but that's pretty close. And how about marketing? Because that's ultimately the subtitle of this book is about marketing. So now we can prioritize these as well. Let's say marketing is actually the first key term we want, Amazon and others to pick up on, and we also want them to use grumpy old men. So that is the first page, the create new project page in a nutshell. I did not go over the language, but you can select the primary language used. For most people, that's going to be, English. We've got a lot of different options here, so you're just going to need to choose the one that matches your manuscript. I'm going to leave this on English for now, but you got a lot of choices there. So that's it for the first step in creating your new book. And where we go from here is we're going to choose. We're either starting a new ebook or starting a print book. So we're going to go through both those stages in another video. So stay tuned.